You know what time it is, lads. You flipping know what time it is. We're doing a live watch along. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all know what time it is. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. I hope you are all keeping well. The quality on there, that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. I got a new iPhone. Got a brand new one. So we're going to I'm not using that one for the stream though. I'm going to use that one for the post fight. I only got it today, and I don't want to straight away start streaming with it because I don't want to absolutely destroy the battery before I've even got a chance to use it. It's only out of the box today. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that looks in the post-fight review. But for now, actually, just want to check and make sure how this sounds. Yeah, look, sounds grand. So, watch a long time, 40 already in the building. Shout out, salute to Jamie. Salute to Jamie every time. I see you're going live straight after, doing the aftermath. I think you have it down tentatively for 11, mate. I'd say, judging by how I can imagine this next fight here, Harper versus Brackus, has got 10 rounds written all over it. So I'd say you're probably going to be looking more so closer to half 11, mate, to be honest with you. But I'm glad to see you back doing it regularly now, man. I'm really, really glad to see you back. We've missed you on here. We've missed you on here. And I do have to get you on. It's definitely my turn to have you back on soon. I think we will do something. I'll text you later about it, or text you tomorrow, in the run-up to the Fury and Ngannou fight. We'll talk more about that and what's going to happen kind of post-fight. And obviously preview the card because it's a good card. We'll get you on. We'll do a little preview, me and you, for that one. In terms of this fight here, I'm not going to probably do commentary on this because I'm kind of going to be focusing more on the chat with this one because I can envision this is going to really be a barn burner, to be honest with you. Terry Harper normally never is in barn burners, to be honest with you. They're normally, apart from the Alicia Baumgardner fight, which was brilliant. I'll just fix 1 sec. Apologies there, just had to fix that. Yeah, apart from the Elisa Baumgardner fight, which was brilliant, Terry Harper is normally she's normally just there. The zone undercard fights have been good so far. Yeah, that Hopi Price fight was really good. I honestly, early on in that Hopi Price fight, I thought he was going to get stopped. He seemed to just be unable to figure out the opponent. He was walking into left hands. Then once he got his footing in it, I think it was the 6th round, he dropped the guy. It was just Hopi Price from then on in. It was a good performance. You look at that and you think that's matchmaking done well. You know, he was in there with someone who he was better than, but he wasn't going to have it his own way. You actually had to work on and adjust in the fight. That will help out Hopi Price so much better than going 12 rounds with someone who's just in there to survive. You know, because he actually had an opponent who was looking to win, who was landing shots on him, making Hopi Price think in there. I was very impressed with that performance. It was very good. It was a mature performance, and the fight itself was very good. Linus Adofia, I was hoping he'd win. I really was. Kieran Conway, that's probably the best I've seen Conway in a long time. He looked really, really good in there. Credit to Kieran Conway. Best I've seen him in a while. And the whole undercard itself, you know, this is one of Eddie Hearn's better undercards. It really has been, certainly this year. But he made the announcement just before this fight came on. And I heard rumors. That this was on the cards, all right. But to see the Michael Conlon card, Michael Conlon versus Jordan Gill, that right there is probably Hearn's best card this year on paper. It looks absolutely amazing. It looks really, really good. It looks like there's going to be some really good fights on that card. Really good fights. I'm looking forward to that. Conlon said this is his first fight with Eddie Hearn. So I'm just curious, is he no longer, if anyone is in the know, is he no longer with Top Rank? Because as many of you will know, if you've been following this channel since the early days, I could never get it into my head. I could never understand it. Why Conlon signed with Top Rank and not with Matchroom from the get-go. Because I always knew they'd never put Conlon at the forefront. They build them up all wrong. I know Bob Arum was quite good at building up fighters, but someone like Conlon, he was never really going to pay much attention to. Whereas Hearn would have absolutely killed Michael Conlon to get Michael Conlon because he would have sold the crap out of him in Belfast. And that's what he's doing. Probably a little, not saying that his career would have gone any better, but you never know. Ali Drew, first as always. Yeah, do you know something? When I heard Billy Joe was commentating, I was semi-tempted. When I heard he was commentating, I was semi-tempted not to do the watch-along because I was thinking, how am I going to top Billy Joe's commentary? Because Billy Joe, that could go wrong pretty quick. But to be fair to Billy Joe, he's commentated on fights before. He's commentated on fights in the Box Nation days. And he's actually not a bad commentator, to be fair. To be fair to Billy Joe, he's not a bad commentator. Him and Sonny Edwards, oh man, that's going to be funny. I know it's weird because like I want to, and look, I think I'm a pretty decent commentator myself, but I want to listen to those two because you know they're just gonna, it's gonna be a bit of banter there, I think. Sporty Sports says, hey G-Man, maybe a newbie question, but are you a Gerald McClellan fan or is there another reason for the name? Well, there's two things, two answers to that. One, yeah, I love Gerald McClellan, but that's not the basis of the name. It's a bit of a long one, right? So the first time I ever went into an amateur boxing gym, I was about 18 or 19. It was a long, over 10 years ago now. And my last name starts with a G. And one of the trainers got to know me in there. And one of the first bars I ever did, he actually said, here comes the G-Man. This was, like I said, 10 years ago. And it just stuck from there, you know. And I actually followed that trainer to a different gym he went to because he went to a gym that was actually in Swords after a couple of years, and that kind of stuck from there. Then I went to another one, and it kind of still, the G-Man name stuck from there. So when I made a YouTube channel, in hindsight, if I'd have known how big it would get, you make it sound like, you know, I'm a bloody, you know what, like on here, but like I think 13 and a bit thousand subscribers is pretty damn good. Had I known it would have grown this, I might not have used G-Man. I might have just used my real name, but I'm stuck with it, man. I'm stuck, and I like it, you know, I like it, man. It's, you know, that's how people call me, people address me as G-Man. And I always say when I meet people like who know me from the channel, I'm always like, G-Man, yeah, here's my real name. Please call me that. Now then, G-Man, looks like our bet is back on, remember? We have a $5 on it. I have Usyk, you have Fury. Bet's on, man. I'm still going with Fury to beat Usyk. I'm still going. And the 286 project, shout out to you, my man. 100 subs. I see you passed. Well done. Congratulations, man. I've got Leigh Wood winning by stoppage. Evening, gents. I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying this card so far. What's your prediction for the main event? I'm still going. I'm going with Leigh Wood by stoppage. But I'm not. That is not a, you know, I'm convinced by that prediction, if that makes sense. It's not me saying, you know, it's definitely going to be Leigh Wood. I see this fight as being very competitive. The atmosphere already, from what I've seen, is absolutely electric in there. So it's going to really bring something out in both fighters. And I wouldn't even be remotely surprised if Josh Warrington outpoints Leigh Wood. I really wouldn't. Interesting thing, right? And here's something you're going to want to remember, okay? It's something that I only thought about, right? Josh Warrington has had loads of world title fights at 126 pounds, right? But they've all been for the IBF. IBF have a 10-pound rehydration clause. That has been mandatory for years and years and years with the IBF. Josh Warrington's had to fulfill that. This is the first time since he fought Mauricio Lara, I think, that he hasn't had to do that. But for the most part of his career, he's been rehydrating in the morning of the fight, having to meet a rehydration limit and then in. The WBA don't have anything like that. So will that benefit Josh Warrington, given the fact that, you know, he's been in some tough fights. He's fought a featherweight his whole career. He's literally fought a featherweight his whole career. Will that benefit Warrington? And Warrington is someone who obviously he relies on volume. He relies on basically outfitting you, being fitter than you. You're cutting weight at this age in your career when you've had a tough couple of years, and then you're having to meet a 10-pound, because it's not like, you know, 10 pounds to certain weights is bigger than it is to others. You know, 10 pounds to maybe a light heavyweight is not going to be as much of a kind of, you know, give me the weight as someone fighting a featherweight. You know, so it could really be a good one. Really enjoyed the first one. Back for a second, I really enjoyed the first one. I think just the only string. Thoughts on the Conlon co-promotion. Oh yeah, obviously it is. And Conlon announced today split from Top Rank. Well, good move. I think that's a very good move. Personally, again, I said at the start, I'm surprised he didn't do it sooner, because when I looked at Michael Conlan, I just thought you're Irish, you're basing yourself in the States. Now, it is easier for an Irish fighter to base himself in the States than a UK fighter, because there's a big Irish contingency over there. You especially on the East Coast, you base yourself there. You're meeting Irish fans left, right, and centre, especially if you're in somewhere like Boston, where it's basically Ireland. Not literal sense, but like there's parts. It's a real big Irish community there. So it's easier for an Irish fighter to base himself in the States. So I can kind of understand why he did that in Top Rank. But I just thought, okay, you're going to want to bring big nights to Belfast. Eddie Hearn has Kate Taylor. Look at the job he's doing for her, saying that, she kind of had, the work was already kind of done for her from the Olympics. But Conlan was still the Irish hope for the men in the Olympics. I just thought Eddie Hearn would have just jumped on that and would have sold the you-know-what out of him in Belfast. Because all really Top Rank, like Conlan hasn't fought in the US since 2019. And it seemed like all Top Rank were doing was building towards him against that guy who beat him in the Olympics, who shouldn't have beaten him. That's all they seemed to build to. And then after that, it was just like nothing. So, or they were going to just try and put him in there with Shakur or Navarrete and have him get the crap beat out of him, which I think Conlan was smart enough to know, I ain't on their level yet. I don't think he ever will be, but that's what I think there. So, look, I think it's a good move. I think the card is absolutely... wow. I mean, it's got some great fights on it. The Conlan Gill fight, which is the main event, I think Conlan will win that fight pretty easy. I think Jordan Gill is absolutely... Jordan Gill against Kiko looked horrific. Kiko retired. Kiko's after retiring, and he made light work of Jordan Gill. Jordan Gill knocked out that guy, that European guy, in 9 rounds, and he was on this close to getting stopped. Conlan took care of him in a round. He's not even a big puncher. I might actually. Just with work, it might not be the easiest. I might. I'll see. To be honest with you, I'd say I probably will. I'll probably, because Belfast is only an hour drive from where I am. It's not far, so I probably will end up going to that. I know it's hitting with the Shearers versus Williams fight, but that Belfast card is way better, so I probably will try and get to it. Just work commitments means I couldn't go up there to it for the whole event, as in the press days, which I really enjoy. I enjoy them. Well, I enjoy the fight night as well, but I enjoy the press days a lot as well. But yeah, I reckon I probably will. I have to say I probably will. Yeah, man, Matchroom doing some stuff in Ireland. It's good to see. It's nice that it's even like this, right? We're going to have a fight in Dublin on the 25th, and then a week later we're up to Belfast. So I'm not going to the Kate Taylor fight though. I didn't go to the last one. I'm not going to go to this one. There's a lot I knew what would happen with, every Joe Blow who, has a podcast in Dublin and be like, which one of you is Eddie Horn? Yeah, now, buddy. Yeah, believe me, you don't want to be around Gummy Joe. Gummy Joe's like that from fucking Crumbling and places like that. I was not interested in that. Big up G off topic, but coming to Dublin for a stag at the end of January. Any recommended places? How much are you willing to spend? Because Dublin is even dearer than London. Anywhere I recommend? There's a lot of good places in Dublin City, to be fair. Going Guinness Storehouse is always good. Like, even if you're honestly, start off there because it's always fun. It's always a good little laugh. They give you samples and everything in there. And then, places like Coppers and the Ivy House and places like that, they're good places. What's your real name? I don't be giving too much away, man. I don't want people creeping up looking for me everywhere. Straight after this fight, what time is it? It's 5 to 10 or 10 to 10. I reckon if I had to say an ETA, before 10:30. Yeah, honestly, I'm quite pleased with what I've been seeing. I think at the start of the year, it was crap from her in the zone. There's no other word. It was absolutely crap. There wasn't enough shows in the UK. I know he was putting shows on in the US, but the UK scene, you need to work on that as well. It needs to be worked on, and there just wasn't enough for my liking. Now, towards the back end of the year, we're getting more regular shows. Some of the fight, like Catril and Ares, I'm not that's not I'm not really keen on that one because it's like really could you not just be targeting someone a little bit more fresh? But the rest of them, like this show has been very good. The Conlon show was absolutely lit. The Sonny Edwards Bam Rodriguez fight, I got to see. They obviously haven't released the face off, but I was there with Ade. He brought me along. I appreciate that. It was amazing. To the recording, oh my god, it was it was it's strange being there, and it was amazing to see. Bam Rodriguez is such a reserved character. He's so quiet, so you would never think of him as a boxer. But there was moments in that face off where you seen the fighter come out. There's certain questions Ade asked him. You saw the fight. You'll see it when it comes out now. The problem is, I think that Ade did over a half hour with the guys, but they'll only give you like 20 minutes. They crop it down. Oh man, the moments where Rodriguez actually started really speaking in it, it was like, oh man, you can see. And I think he's gonna absolutely annihilate Sonny Edwards. Sonny Edwards really, it wasn't even that he bossed it, but Sonny Edwards was the main talker in the face-off. It was really fun to be there. It was absolutely amazing just to see it and be a part. Well, not part of it, but around it and see it. And I really appreciated that from Ade. It was brilliant. It was absolutely amazing being at those. It was crazy. Yes, I'm very happy, man. Delighted for him. Big fan of Max Verstappen, always have been. And I think he's the best driver by a long way. He is the best driver by a long way. I think that Lando Norris is the second best right now. And with 6 races to go, I expect him or Piastri with McLaren to win a race because the car is just too good not to. But Verstappen is on a league of his own. He really is. He'll probably win tomorrow. But it's really, it's interesting. Next season, people talk about Hamilton, Russell, Ferrari. I think that next season, Norris and Piastri and McLaren, because that McLaren is absolutely electric, and it's only going to get better. And they've got a great car. That car is only going to get better. They have a great foundation, and they will be in the championship next season. It's probably still going to be Verstappen's, but Lando Norris, I would say, will get his first win this season. I'd say he'll get it this season. Next season, he'll be a contender 100%. So will Piastri, because that kid is absolutely incredible. Like, that kid, I knew he was good going into the season, but even I didn't think he'd be as good as he is. So, yeah, big up to Oscar Piastri. With age, I think you just soften up. When you're younger, you feel like you have to prove a point. I think Warrington has enough, but we shall see. Hope you're having a great night regardless. Yeah, man, it's been a good day, man. It's been as is, watched the boxing, got the fights on here. Went to the 6th round of this fight. I've not been really watching it. We'll do the commentary for the main event, of course, but it's been good. Best card ever in Ireland. That's a really, really good question. There's not been many big cards. You'd probably say one is maybe one of the Eubank Collins fights back down in Cork were probably good. There's not really been many, over the last few years. There's really not been many to speak of. Obviously, we're getting major boxing back now in Ireland, which is brilliant. It is. They're actually doing a show. Jay Quigley is headlining in Donegal, of all places, which is not a place you would associate with boxing, but they're doing it in there, which is, I think that's in November. That's actually the week or so. With this, it's definitely not vodka. Nicest tap water you'll get. Imagine drinking like vodka like that straight. Good Lord. I don't even like vodka. I can't call the fight. It's a tough one. I'm leaning with Leigh Wood. It is. Like, that's the thing about Ireland. It is lovely. I've always said it. Kerry is probably the nicest part of the country because that place is just gorgeous. Apparently, the Hairy Lemon is good. Is that in Dublin? I've never heard of it. I went to a place called The Well, Welll. Now, this is a while ago, like January, and I thought that place was absolutely really good for a night out. See, I don't go. See, I'm from Swords, so I don't go into town much because Dublin City much because it costs. There's no real. There's a bus service, but it is what it is, and then it's about 50 quid for a taxi into Dublin City. It's just not worth it. And Swords has a good enough nightlife as it is, so there's not. And I don't really go out that much anyway, but Swords is just as good. It has a good enough nightlife as it is, and I'm not having to pay money for a taxi. Well, as much. It's only like a tenner to get home. Which is a metal fence, means no splinters. Just okay. I used to be a massive F1 fan, but haven't been interested since before Mercedes' first win. Yeah, the whole Mercedes. Well, to be honest with you, like I've been a fan of F1 since the '90s. Like I was a kid, I grew up with it. So for me, I've grown up with it. I've always loved it. The way it's gone now, where you have just, I think the fans have ruined it a lot. Like the new age fan, I call them the new age fans, who as soon as there's a crash, oh my god, I'm so scared. They've ruined it. Back in the '90s, there'd be a massive crash. The driver would get in the spare car and act like nothing happened. The fans wouldn't bat an eyelid. Whereas now, driver cuts his finger. He shouldn't race tomorrow. He's so scared. You just like, what the hell? Like, what the actual hell? Where are we? We had a bot there. Yeah, just hide that. I think I have you on mod, Jamie. Yeah, I do. I have you as a moderator. So I'm hoping that if I miss one, which I probably will, that you might be able to put one of them on timeout or something like that, because they're just annoying. How much is an F1 car versus the ability of the driver? Well, you look at Sergio Perez, he's in the best car on the grid by a country mile, and he can't seem to do anything with it. Yeah, we're dying to see the headbutts go in. I'm wondering how many there's going to be. I'm reckoning there's a lot. I've been a Piastri supporter for some time, but is, as you said, on Leigh, on level on his own. Yeah, Max is rough. There we go. Yeah, I don't understand. They always arrive in here. Hit him again. He's on the block party now. I don't know why I put them in timeout. Assuming they're not going to come back when it's like, that's their bots. Like, of course they're going to come back. I'm not a big rugby fan, to be honest with you, mate. Like, how did Ireland do it? Did they win? Because I don't know. I'm not really, I know they're obviously in the World Cup, but I don't really follow it that much. It's never really been a sport that's really got into me. Let's see, Ireland versus Scotland. Okay, we won. No, we won. I mean, it's never really been a sport that I've really got into, to be honest with you. And it's probably the only sport that Ireland are good at as a team sport. But yeah, it won't be big up, Emmanuel. Will you be showing us the fight? Definitely not, man. Definitely not. It's a watch along, so ain't no footage, because I show footage, channel gets in trouble. Don't want that. Work too hard to get the channel to where it is. And there's 191 of you in the building, so if you haven't already, please smash the like button. We've only got 53 likes in the building. 53 likes for nearly 200 people, that's a pretty bad ratio. Smash the old like button. Ireland are the best team in the world. I mean, as a South African, I'm still a bit sore about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I was in London when Ireland played South Africa. That was the day Joyce fought Zhang. So I can only imagine what Dublin was like when that game happened. Because obviously, London are not going to be coming out in force over an Ireland game. But I can imagine that Dublin was like insane. Insane. I can imagine. How am I watching it? I'm watching it on the Zone, man. I pay my monthly fee. I think it's a tenner a month. There you go. I watch it on my TV. So it's handy. I don't have to worry about. You see, if I was doing it the other way, by other means, as Joe Stunner Boxing would say, I wouldn't even do a watch along. Because what's the point? You don't know how good the quality of the stream will be. Will it shut down halfway through it? Will it be buffering a lot? Swords ain't a kit. Swords is all right. It does the job. Will get slain by YouTube. Yeah, they will smite me. They will absolutely have a field day with me. I've only ever got one strike on this channel the whole time I've been doing it. Copyright anyway. And it was Showtime when I done a review of Wild in Brazil. They said I had footage of the fight, which I didn't have. That's the only time I ever got a strike on this channel. It would only lasted like 60 days. But ever since then, I always said I will try and tread carefully with Showtime. That's one of the, you say Showtime are leaving boxing, you should be happy. They're the only channel who ever copyrighted me for no reason. Even though I had everywhere in the title, there was no footage, because they don't play around. They literally seen the thumbnail and they were like, see you later. Well, they didn't say see you later, but they were like, see you later to that video. Hrgovic was definitely a good amateur. As a pro, he showed some very good signs early on. And I think that there's a lot about Hrgovic. When you see him against someone, who was it he fought? He fought someone in 2018, 2019. He was a lot lighter back then as well. And he just looked good. He looked like a really good talent. He looked like a big puncher. He looked like a problem. Then he started kind of just lowering the level down, coming in a bit out of shape. Not out of shape, but heavier. And now he just looks like a shell of himself. He really does. I mean, Dempsey McKean, I gave him the pass against Zhang, and obviously Zhang win has aged better, because obviously his dad had passed away, and, losing a loved one is not easy, certainly. It's really not easy. And that can affect you in a lot of ways. So I understood that. But a year later, to look even worse against Dempsey McKean, a much, much inferior fighter, that right there was a big worry. And if he is going to fight someone like Joshua next, the Joshua has his own problems. But, you want to be firing on all cylinders, because if Joshua does turn up, and you turn up the way you did against McKean, you ain't going to be pretty. Big up G-Man. I'm going Wood, finish 6-8. Interesting. Rashford had a great season last season. I had a worry that it wouldn't last. United are in absolute shambles, mate. They're absolutely in shambles at the minute. Everything. It's just been a nightmare. Like, I know it was all right against Brentford, but like it just, the team is all over the shop. It really is. Probably not, mate. That's next week, isn't it? Ade's actually doing the hosting for that fight. Probably not. I might do a review. I might watch it, as in like watch it, but I'm not gonna watch along around it like that. Fury the GOAT, brilliant. I love the way, that's what I've always said about the Fury fans. You could be on a completely different topic, but yet they'll be like, our guy is the best. Yeah, brilliant. Well done. Some achievement. Is mentally empty. I feel at the moment he will come back, or has burned himself out during the amateurs. Possibly, that does happen. You see it with fighters in the amateurs. They prolonged amateur careers. I don't really, like, I get it to some extent that they want to turn pro and get a good deal, but like, you look at someone like Anthony Fowler, where he looked fairly jaded even before he turned pro. I'm sure he still could have had got to a matchroom level if he turned pro earlier. Maybe would have done a little bit more. No. I wouldn't pick him over Lopez. I certainly wouldn't pick him over Rebesi Ramirez. I think that Leigh Wood is massively improved. He's very good. But in terms of him becoming undisputed, I can't see it. I honestly cannot see it. Has the right started yet? We're near the very end of Terry Harper's fight, so I would imagine it will start in the next little while. So probably I reckon in the next half hour we're getting the ring walk. It'll be probably about 10:30. It'll probably be about 10:30. What's your favorite background? What for this? Better background is over there, but we need to update the background. But the problem is, a part of me is like, I need to update a lot of things, but like, I won't be here this time next year in this place, in this house. So I don't know if I should be updating anything until I move away. And then obviously we're going to do, what happened there? That 10th round, thank God. Did Charlo fear Canelo's power? I think it was a combination of both. I think that he turned up there knowing, okay, I'm going to make a lot of money. And then when he realized, oh crap, this guy hits hard. And Canelo has a very good chin. We all know that. Canelo's chin has been tested a few times. It's always came true with flying colors. He was like, I don't want to get knocked out. And to be honest with you, if Charlo really went for it, he would have got knocked out. Canelo would have stopped him. Definitely. You know, Canelo was a very big puncher. So I think it was a combination of all that. I really do. I really do. 210 in the building. How many likes are we on? How many likes are we on? Because, you know, you got to help your boy out with the likes. The likes are the main thing. It keeps pushing the algorithms up and all that good stuff. What are we on? 77. Like, we're nearly at 100, 218. And if you haven't already, I will say, could you please, if you please don't mind, hitting the old subscribe button, because we only passed 13K about a fortnight ago. And look at that there. Can you see that? There we go. 13,243. So hit the like button. I'd love to get to 13,300 by the end of tonight. I flipping love it, lads. So hit the old subscribe button if you haven't already. Do you know something? I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about doing a channel about F1, but I just think I just think that I would come with an old school mentality. And I don't think that that is the mentality that a lot of these F1 fans want. Because if you look at me, for example, like for me, it's like when I see a race and it gets delayed in the rain, I'm just like, they've started in worse conditions and everyone's been fine. Just start the flipping race. You have all these soy boys are like, safety first. I just am like, if you feel, it's like boxing. You know, you've people who say, well, I watched a boxing match and I want to get into it, but I don't like seeing people get knocked out. It's like, well, it's not the sport for you then, because it's going to happen. And it's like, if you don't like seeing cars crash, then F1 ain't the sport for you. It's going to happen. Simple as. You know, if you want to watch a sport that's safe and that, you know, you're not really worried about people, you know, risking anything, and not like F1, and F1 is a very safe sport, then watch football. And that would be kind of me. Now, your background in terms of boxing experience and knowledge, lad. In terms of boxing experience, I tried the amateur thing, was never for me, and I've been a fan, and I know enough about boxing to talk about it, obviously. So that's where the background is. In terms of if I have a background in what, psychology or sports or anything like that, in terms of like journalism or shit like that, no. No, I don't, but do you need it? Does that, eh? He's presenting the zone. Yeah, it was a good scrap. It was a very good scrap. It was a very good scrap. My thoughts on Abu Dhabi, by the way, 2021. Look, I love Max Verstappen, but that was wrong. It was. That was done for the dramatic effect. And they made a mistake. And, you know, Verstappen capitalized on it. Is it his fault? No. It's the race director's fault. And he was punished for it. I am no Lewis Hamilton fan. I really don't like that guy. But yeah, he should feel aggrieved by it. Definitely. I know, but believe me, I think that's the minority. I think the general consensus, certainly with the new age F1 fans, is you know, it's when I look, and you know, you want to talk about, if anyone ever wants to know what gaslighting looks like, listen to David Croft, right? Whenever there's a crash, the Halo saved his life. I'm sorry, there have been worse crashes, and the Halo hasn't been there. And they've walked away and gotten a spare car. All of a sudden now, if it wasn't for the Halo, there'd be a death every weekend. Do me a favour. Stop talking nonsense. That's what I'd be saying. And I think that for some, that is what they want to hear. But the new age F1 fan, as I say, they are, let's see what the scorecard is for this. The draw. Okay. That fair or not fair? She looks so happy, Cecilia Brackhurst, that that's a draw. Is that fair or not fair? Because obviously I wasn't watching the fight. She looks so happy with the draw. Is that like, because I was not watching this fight. She looks so pleased with the draw. Am I interested in the Roman Empire? Yeah. There's actually a documentary series. Well, it's a show on Netflix. And it's called that, Roman Empire. There's only 3 seasons of it. It's very good. It covers Caesar, Caligula, and his name always escapes me. He lived in 172. He was Emperor of Rome, but his name is, I can't remember his name. But he died in 172. Very interesting. But yeah, the Roman Empire is always interesting. It's always an interesting to look at. Even the You go back pre-Caesar Rome. It's very interesting. It really is. Where are we with that? What's good? We're all good, man. We're all good. All the main YouTubers are too worried about saying the wrong things. They definitely are. They definitely are. If you're talking about F1, then you know, again, like I don't. There's very few F1 channels I watch. I watch the race. I watch a bit of Formula World, but they're more for news. If you're watching like, like people like FP1, he's all right, but he would be in the me and him would be very the polar opposites to how we view things. He talks about the Halo hater. It's like, no, are you, as I say in my videos, could you look into a different world and see that if that guy hit a wall without a Halo, would he get out? Of course he'd flip and get out, you idiot. But all of a sudden, for someone pointing that out, it's just like, come on, man, get a grip. I've always been, that's old school when it comes to F1. Always been like that. It's, yeah. I mean, neither guy is in a particularly good place in their career. It is loser leaves town. And look, it's an interesting fight. It's loser leaves town. If Gill or Conlon lose, that's it. I would say that, okay, they both have 2 losses, right? Conlon against Lopez was a devastating loss. As was Conlon against Wood. That was such a tough fight. But even in fights that Gill has won, they've been tough. And he fought Kiko Martinez last time around. And Kiko Martinez is now retired. And he beat the living crap out of Jordan Gill. I think it was over 4 or 5 rounds. Now, Mike Conlon, albeit he lost in a similar 5 rounds, he was competitive at times against Lopez. And Lopez is a current champion and a very good champion. So you would say that, obviously, I'd be favouring Conlon. I think he's fresher. Yeah. I remember, was it Sterling Moss, the late great Sterling Moss said that safety is something that needs to be there, obviously. But he always said that if you make it too safe, you take away from it. And it was kind of the early 2000s were brilliant. You had the V10, Schumi, Hakkinen. It was brilliant back then. And the drivers were more risk takers. You go back to the 90s, the early 2000s, massive crash, hop in the spare car. They did the spare car back then, and they wouldn't even and they put it to the end of their minds. Whereas, now it's real bubble wrapped, and it's just gone extreme. It's too safe. It's watered down. And, I miss the refueling, right? I understand why they don't do it for a variety of reasons, but I miss that because it meant that they could constantly push in the race. You look at it now and it's like, you just like, is he ahead because the other driver's not pushing because he's trying to, it's not the same for me. I miss all that. I really do. And that's why I've always loved F1. But yeah, Crofty is he was actually, he's good at darts. He's done commentary for darts. He was actually a darts commentator before he did F1. But it's the gaslighting he does with, the crashes and stuff. It's just like, mate, come on. Seriously. And, Martin Brundle, I feel for Martin Brundle because you can tell he's holding back a lot. Because Martin Brundle is one of the few who will give his opinion and will say we need to get on with this. But you can tell at times he's really holding back. Like when Crofty is talking about, say this, that, you can really tell just by the way he's speaking, he's biting his tongue. Because he's just like, I raced in a time where it was just, you get out and you just race. And these guys don't have to do that, and they're still complaining. And I get the impression that he's such a good commentator, but he's constantly biting his tongue on commentary. You can tell that with him. Yeah, man, they're horrible. But look, suddenly going mad at the draw. And neither was I. Had Harper winning. Are you more of an Eastern Front or a Western Front kind of man. Talking about women, definitely Eastern. Oh, 100%. Mm-hmm. I wrote something about a slamming door in the face if they knock on it, and I go, mental, man. Yeah, that was Hatman's laugh is that laugh he has. And he even says it's like a Dr. Hibbert laugh, and it's the way he just can just go into laughs. He could be talking about something so serious, and the laugh comes out, and he's like, yeah, you could be saying, Josh Warrington got knocked out cold by Leigh Wood. I obviously can't do Hatman's laugh, but it's the way he's hilarious with that. The best review Hatman ever did was when he did that review for Wings and Boogie. He didn't need to say anything. The laugh said it all. Yeah, he said he was from Hello. I never even heard of Hello until Hatman said it. I don't even know. I didn't even Google search it, but I never even heard of that show. Got an early prediction for Haney Program. I'm leaning towards Program. Oh, man, Murray Walker. That's something that Hatman talked about, and I'm just using it as in another sport. Murray Walker was the ultimate character. I mean, he had charisma to burn. That guy was phenomenal. There's a video of him being interviewed by Jeremy Clarkson, and Clarkson gets him to commentate on snooker. And he would have you at the edge of your seat listening to snooker. He just had charisma to burn. He was brilliant. And he was a character as well. You don't get that nowadays. If someone like Murray Walker came along today in any sport as a commentator, he never said anything controversial, to his credit. He was always respectful. He was the perfect blend of respectful, but not being, bland. He would hate to criticize drivers. If there was ever like critique on a driver, he'd say, well, I hate to say it, some people are asking. And he'd always be very respectful. That was the great thing about Murray Walker. But he wasn't one of these kind of guys who was just doing it because, it looks good. He would do it because that's how he genuinely feels. He was just brilliant. Like, he would be, I'd say if he came around today, actually, he'd probably be, everyone would want to work with someone like him because he had that charisma. He was respectful. He never said anything that would have gotten him even remotely in amount of trouble. He was just brilliant. And yeah, I mean, he's probably a once off when it comes to commentators. He was tremendous. He could commentate on anything and it would just be amazing. Main event is coming up next, lads. So there we go. How long to the main? I reckon another 15 minutes. Yeah, I've seen that. And big up to Nick. Smash the like button. If you could smash it, man. Smash the like button. The old turbo days or the current turbo days? Just a little bit of F1 at the minute. Oh, I'm hoping not, though. I never really got into MotoGP, though. That's one thing. I never really got into MotoGP. It's always been... F1 has always been my sport. I grew up with it. Actually, when I was a kid, I always thought I'd be an F1 driver. Didn't happen, obviously. But that was my first ever dream. You remember when Hatman done the men said, oh, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. I remember that, yeah. I'd love to see Wings get back in the ring after that big win. Big is the word. Those two were flipping units. Why has Hatman's voice completely changed? I think it's just the microphones he uses. He's upgraded mics over the last couple of years. He told me about some he's used. And I think that's the main reason. I think it's just you change mics. Some are going to, and you have to change the settings as well. Some are going to sound clearer than others. The ones Ade uses, the ones that he's had me use with him, they are very good mics. Very good. What time are we at? I probably reckon the next 10 minutes. Who do you want to win? I don't really care, to be honest with you, mate. Like, I mean, as long as we get a good fight, then I'm all good, man. About Hatman rants, it always gets me going. And he always gets the laugh in, the giggle in as well. You know, Hatman's laugh is just, that's contagious. When he gets those giggles going, man, it is like, he is literally like Dr. Hibbert in that sense. You know, when Dr. Hibbert is saying, you know, this is quite serious. I'm going with Leigh Wood by knockout, but I'm saying that with no great degree of certainty. I'm saying that with no great degree of certainty because I really, like, you know, both guys are probably, safe to say, I don't want to say they're on the decline per se, but they're not as fresh as they were, say, 5 years ago. So for me, I think I'm just going to edge it to Leigh Wood, but I'm saying that, as I said, with no great degree of certainty. No great degree of certainty. And I'm just checking the score of the darts. Gerwin Price in the final. I like darts as well, by the way. Gerwin Price, my favourite dart player. He's in the final for tomorrow with the Grand Prix. Looking forward to seeing that. Nigel Mansell was very good. Yes, he was very good. What boxing are you looking forward to the most in the remainder of the year? Well, if Fury Usyk happens this year, then obviously I'd be looking forward to that the most. The question is it going to happen? Look, I think it will happen, but will it happen this year? Remains to be seen. Once we get the date announced, we'll know a lot more then. It's hard to ask, really. Will it? It's hard for me to know. Will it do it this year? I don't know. I think it just depends on just money and stuff like that and time-wise. You know, when's financially the best time to do it. Yeah, Sid Waddell was brilliant. I think, again, he's another one. A character. You don't get characters like Sid Waddell nowadays. He was brilliant. He just... The thing about Sid Waddell is you'd listen to him on commentary and you'd be thinking, is this guy mad? The guy had, I think, a degree in English literature or something like that. But the guy, listen to him on commentary. But what I loved about someone like Sid Waddell and Murray Walker as well is that they were commentating on it from a fan's perspective. It's like a watch along that we're doing here. They're watching that darts F1. They're watching it as fans. Manuel Stewart was like that. They're watching it and they're paid to commentate. They're paid to give their opinion, but they're also watching it from a fan's perspective and they're getting into it like a fan. So you'd see Murray Walker getting so animated about, oh, he's off. Same with, you know, Sid Waddell in the darts and Manny Stewart. When a fight would come to life, you'd hear Manny Stewart get real animated on ringside and say, now he's coming back and here comes this. Manny Stewart was brilliant. He is so missed in the world of boxing, is Manny Stewart. I don't think there's anyone who you could say is more... Manny Stewart is missed like crazy in the world of boxing. Not just for commentary, but for everything, man. Manny Stewart's absolute legend. Laser Gaiman says he's driving home. Has the fight happened yet? No, Josh Warrington is literally at this moment in time getting ready to make his ring walk. So I reckon 10:30, we're good to go. They'll probably do the national anthem though, but it's only the one. It's only for, well, they're both British, so it'll only be the one. But I reckon that the next 10 minutes, we got this. We got this. G-Man, respect. We are all listening to your chat. You're a great pundit at Solid Boxing Channel. I wish you all the best. Keep going, mate. Thank you to Tom Tum. I appreciate that, man. I really do. I love hearing stuff like that, man. I always would say I love hearing stuff like that. I really appreciate it. I know. I like him. I like Michael Smith, but Gezi Price is he's my favorite. Wow, someone likes Gezi Price. I like Gerwin Price. I always liked him. I like the confidence. I like his demeanor. I think he's a very good player as well. Big up, salute to Chris Andre every time. What a terrific fight this is set to be. Two likable guys, our warriors with passion, fan base behind them. Let's go. It is. I'm looking at it here. There's some big guy standing up there with his shirt off. It's a proper football atmosphere, isn't it, lads? I'd say it's got to be an incredible atmosphere in there. Yeah, there he is again. That's a lot of stomach. That's a lot of stomach. But hey, he's having a good time. It's a proper football atmosphere. I'd say it's great atmosphere in there, and I'd say when both guys get going, it is going to be electric in there. Absolutely electric. In Sheffield, so it's neutral territory. Like, you literally have blue that side for Leeds, red that side for Nottingham. Yeah, he was well educated, so he was. No. Rocket Power, man, I can honestly say I can never heard of that. Oh man, Joe Calzaghe was a legend. You know, some people like like kind of newer fans of the boxing would always say, "Oh, they reckon Froch would beat Calzaghe." It's like, for me, I'm like, I not only do I can't even conceive of Carl Froch beating Joe Calzaghe. It's just alien to me, that concept. Calzaghe was levels, like levels better than Carl Froch. He would have beat the living crap out of Carl Froch if they had fought. Honestly, he really would have. He would have beat the living crap out of Carl Froch if they had fought. Let's go. Don't like the football terrorist vibes. They got, to me, seems like a recipe for disaster. I hope we don't have any, football beef going on in here, as in the fight. Because you just wouldn't know with some of these, to be honest with you, what might happen. And Jamie, if he's still in the chat, you might get away with the you might still get away with the 11 o'clock one if, and it's an if this fight ends early. It looks a good atmosphere in there, I'm not gonna lie. But it's gonna be an interesting one. Is this the fight? Fight is coming up in the next few minutes. Leigh Wood has the fly gloves on. Interesting. He's normally an Everlast guy. Now, me personally, I prefer fly gloves. They are softer than Everlast. He normally wears MX gloves. I'm big up to Artem. MMA, what's going on? We're waiting for the fight. Josh Warrington getting ready to do his ring walk. And then it'll be the turn of Leigh Wood. I would assume they're going to do the national anthems, but it's only the one. And then we're into it. Yeah, I do. I still drink cranberry juice. I just don't buy it as much these days. To be fair, they don't have the cranberry juice I like as much these days. They don't get it in stock as much, so I don't buy it as much. So I'm just stick to water. So it's water tonight. It's water tonight. You know me. When I do these watch-alongs, the craziest you'll ever see is if I have maybe a glass of Coke. That's the craziest you're ever going to see from me with these watch-alongs. Lightest is water, craziest I might get a glass of Coke. Might go a little bit rambunctious and have a glass of, or maybe even 2 glasses of Coke. That's the height of it, really, here. Or the weigh-in. I wasn't really looking at the weigh-in, to be honest with you. Leigh Wood's been doing this weight for a while. He's 35 now. It's going to be interesting. A lot of people say he didn't look good. Dunstore's own cranberry juice, believe it or not. I think Dunstore's cranberry juice is the nicest. I'm watching maybe out of sync. What I always do, right, especially if I'm commentating on it, which I will be for this one, I always, as soon as that first bell goes, I'll say, boom, it started. So like 2:59, boom, it's done, it's here. So you can kind of sync it. And I always kind of give updates. I'm always like, there's 1 minute, 30 seconds to go in round number 1, 2, So I'm always going to give a few updates. Yeah, I'm going to commentate on it, definitely. I like commentating on it, I really do. You know something, right? It's not easy because in August we done 3 watch-alongs. Well, technically August going into September because it was the first day in September that we'd had Eubank versus Smith. But when you commentate on like 3 fights, and you're not like a commentator on there where when the fight ends you can take a bit of a break, you're constantly speaking, you are flipping knackered by the end of it. You are flipping knackered by the end of it. It really was. It really was. It was not easy. Where are we going? Can't see us going past 6. Wood can definitely be hurt. I definitely think. Well, think of it like this, right? Michael Conlan is not the biggest puncher in the world, and he had Leigh Wood in all sorts of trouble in their fight up until Leigh Wood wore him down. How old are you today? Today was my birthday last week. This day last week was my birthday. I'll leave it there. Mate, I can't. If I did that, YouTube are going to have a field day with the channel. The best thing I can do is when they read, if it goes 12 rounds, they read the scorecards, I can put the volume up so you can hear the scores. But in terms of actually turning it around, I ain't doing that. I ain't getting the strike. No way. Because it's not worth it. Some people want to go and do that. They're more than welcome. They can go and do that. They can get the strikes, etc., etc. They can do all that, but not on here. Work too hard on this channel to get strikes on it. And we are so slow to load. Oh, yeah. So we're nearly at 13,250 likes. So look at that right there. So if you haven't already, if that will show, obviously, I don't think it's even going to show there. But if you could see it there, it says 247 views or 47 subs. So if you could, smash the like button, hit your boy a subscribe, because we want to try and get to 15k before the end of the year. That's the goal, lads. 15k by the end of the year. We can get to 15k by the end of the year. We good. We good. Because 20k is the goal for next year. Amongst other things. Will you announce when the first bell rings so we can sync? Oh, of course, man. Always, definitely. I'm just wondering. I don't see anyone in the ring. Maybe they aren't going to sing I don't think they are going to sing the national anthems. Thank God. Listen. So they're literally announcing the referee. So it's 10:30 exactly. So we look good. We look good. Oh, you meant how am I? I was like, how? Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm really, really good. Oh yeah, no, that's the plan, man. That's the plan. We're less than 2k away from 15k. I started the year not even on 10k. So if we get 15 by the end of the year, then that's one box ticked. And then, yeah, probably by summertime, I'd like to get to 20k, because I find that Ade told me this, and so did Hatman, that when you hit 10k, your channel gets pushed up more in the algorithms. And ever since I've hit 10k, I've noticed that is true, because my videos have been doing way better. They've been getting recommended way more. You know, I do a post fight now the day after, and it still gains me like 50 subs. It's actually crazy when I look at it, and you're just like, damn. And it wasn't doing that until I hit 10k. It was always doing well, but it was never doing that well. Now it's doing phenomenal. And I'd put it down to a lot of reasons. Obviously, I've got better at this and everything else. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. When I was at the Joyce Zhang press conference, people were coming up to me and they were like, "Gee, man, you know, I see you with Ade a bit," and it's like, yeah, me and Ade are mates, and we try and do as many shows together as we can. We'd like to do more. We both said that. We both said we'd love to do it a bit more regularly, maybe once every couple of weeks. Obviously, he's in London, I'm in Dublin. It's not as straightforward. He's working with The Zone. He's working with TalkSport. Different days, different times. I'm working myself as well. But obviously next year I will be in the same city. I'll be in London, which will make things a lot easier, because we can do it more often. Yeah, he looks heavy. Oh, we should, man. We should. We're roughly 1,700 off. And we've been doing roughly, like last month we got over 600 subs. So we'd have to do a big month, but we should still get roughly there. We have this month to go. So if we done 600 this month, next month, yeah, we'd hit it. We'd just about hit it. Well, we definitely hit it. So, and as well as that, there's a lot of fights coming in. Right, they're getting ready. Both fighters are getting their final instructions off the referee. or part of London, most likely East London, E15. Right, let's get going, lads. You're pulling in decent views. We always get decent views with these watch-alongs, though, to be fair. Always. All right, lads. Both guys in the center of the ring. Referee is ready to go. Let's go. First bell goes. Leigh Wood, Josh Warrington. Josh Warrington immediately looking to get in, but Leigh Wood using his jab. Leigh Wood, a very good long-range boxer, but Josh Warrington straight away letting the punches go. He is not holding back at all. Josh Warrington, a great fighter at close to mid-range. He will work the body. He will hit anything he can. He will throw as many punches as he can. Leigh Wood, the sharpshooter. He looks to set you up with the jab and land the right hand. He is going to have to work overtime to keep Josh Warrington at bay. And he's going to want to make sure that no matter what Josh Warrington does, he fights his own fight. He doesn't want to have to try and match Josh Warrington punch for punch. He'll never be able to match Josh Warrington with that fitness. Josh Warrington straight away off the bat, coming out quick, looking to land shots against Marie. And it lands a left hook there on Leigh Wood. Leigh Wood takes it. Josh Warrington, not the biggest puncher in the world, but don't let his knockout ratio disguise his punching power. There is power there. He does hit harder than many people would have you believe. Ask Carl Frampton that. 1 minute and 57 seconds left here in the round. Josh Warrington blocks some shots from Leigh Wood, ends up in a headlock. Good start so far from Josh Warrington. He's working in and out. He's blocking a lot of the long-range shots from Leigh Wood. Leigh Wood not able to get his timing off with that jab in the slightest. And Josh Warrington using his own jab, landing it on Leigh Wood. Is that a gash? Is that a little mark over Leigh Wood's eye? Or is that just his hair? Ooh, heads come together very close. That's something Leigh Wood is going to look out for. Josh Warrington, some would say, oh, big shots go in by both guys. Leigh Wood maybe got the better of that. But Warrington, again, very reckless with his head. Can be very, very reckless. And Michael Alexander is going to want to have words with that. And Leigh Wood, punch goes over the head of Josh Warrington. Both guys in a clinch. Very fast start to this first round. No feeling out whatsoever. Both guys looking to go for it from the opening bell. And Leigh Wood already blinking a little bit. And that's not a good sign. It's a very kind of almost as if he's hurt there with a little blink. Both guys back in a clinch. Josh Warrington, as I said, he likes to operate at mid to close range. He's going to have to get inside on Leigh Wood. And that comes with its own risk. Leigh Wood, very good from long range. And he's using that jab to good effect. He's hitting Josh Warrington in the body. And Josh Warrington is someone who relies a lot on his fitness. You start hitting him in the body, and if he's had a hard weight cut, and that's going to slow the legs down. But Josh Warrington, again, bit reckless again inside. Started off very well with his inside work, getting some short shots off, but looking a bit reckless. Good right hand from Leigh Wood, and a good shot to the body as well. Leigh Wood finding his range a bit at long range. Josh Warrington having to think now. Not a known long-range boxer. He's not going to be able to match Leigh Wood at long range. Leigh Wood, the much bigger guy, but Josh Warrington trying to throw Leigh Wood almost there, but right hand goes in by Leigh Wood. Did that stun Josh Warrington a little bit? Because he definitely backed up a little bit. So good end to the first round by Leigh Wood, but Josh Warrington, little flurry to try and end the round. Is he going to get in? No. Round one ends. Close round. Close round. Josh Warrington started well, but seemed to lose his range a little bit. Leigh Wood definitely ended it better. Definitely ended it better. I don't know who I'd give that round to. I would probably edge it just upon cleaner punching Leigh Wood. But I don't mind you giving it to Josh Warrington. Mind his own behind. Yeah, well, I'm watching it on the proper DAZN app, so it's going to be as clear as can be. Or hopefully as clear as can be. Hopefully. Yeah. Well, if Warrington does, Warrington's going to want to be careful. He's going to want to move the head. Let's have a look at some of the replays. So Josh Warrington early on looked very good. Landed a nice left hook on Leigh Wood that backed him up. But Leigh Wood, a good left hook on Josh Warrington. Leigh Wood is a much better fighter at long range. Round two just underway. Josh Warrington must know, I can't match this guy at long range. But if you remember back to his fight against Luis Alberto Lopez, it got very messy, as it's getting messy here. And that was when Josh Warrington was able to come back into it. Leigh Wood would not engage Warrington as much as Lopez would. Leigh Wood is going to happy keep this on the edge, keep on the outside, keep Josh Warrington at the end of his jab, and look to land counter shots. His best punch, which he just landed there, is the right hand. Josh Warrington is actually more open to the left hook, which Leigh Wood did also land in the first round. And Ben Davison in the corner, I would imagine, is going to be telling Leigh Wood to focus on the left hook. Josh Warrington leaves himself very exposed because he lunges in with shots like that, leaves himself very open. Good body shot from Leigh Wood. And again, not fighting Josh Warrington's fight, fighting his own fight, keeping it at range, taking a little step in, a little half step in, and just offsetting Josh. Oh, big right hand goes in. Josh Warrington caught on the way in. Excellent counter from Leigh Wood. Josh Warrington always showed a good chin. Yes, he was knocked out by Mauricio Lara, but apart from that, he never showed any flaws with his chin. And Leigh Wood definitely getting the better of this at long range, keeping it at long range, making Josh Warrington think about coming in, but Josh Warrington lands a nice little combination there and gets straight back out there, ducking down, trying to get in, but Leigh Wood isn't letting him. Defense is very good so far from Leigh Wood, not letting Josh Warrington get any offense in. Another shot goes in from Leigh Wood, really good, opens up the guard of Josh Warrington. Josh Warrington felt that. Body shot from Leigh Wood goes in, looking to set up the right hand again, going downstairs to Josh Warrington any chance he can get to try and bring the hands down, looking to set up the right hand or looking to set up a right hand left hook. Josh Warrington is open to the hook. Very good stuff here. A minute to go. Uppercut goes in by Leigh Wood. Right hand goes in by Leigh Wood. Josh Warrington actually grimaces there a little bit. Did he injure himself? Did he injure his hand? Or did he feel the shot? Leigh Wood really warming into this fight now. Very good so far. Another right hand goes in. Leigh Wood just turns Josh Warrington and again takes center ring. Josh Warrington cannot get past that jab. He's having a thing coming in, but he does land a shot there. Just lands it on the edge of Leigh Wood's head. Makes Leigh Wood think, hang on a minute, this guy is still here. He's still alive. And makes Leigh Wood miss. Again, Leigh Wood misses, but Josh Warrington not doing it. And heads come together, and Leigh Wood acknowledges the heads come together. At some point, you would say, okay, reckless, but at what point does it become not reckless and intentional? We're starting, I think, to cross that threshold. Someone saying Josh's feet have slowed down. They definitely have. The Josh Warrington of a couple of years ago would have been in and out like that. He's not able to do that. He's having to measure these attacks real carefully. And he's really only committing when he feels he is absolutely safe. Referee Michael Alexander having a word with Josh Warrington. The use of the head and the illegal tactics. That is how he was able to salvage a majority decision loss to Luis Alberto Lopez, where he really shouldn't have. Is there a way you can show the rounds and your score on the live? Unfortunately, I'd love to do that, but I have the bog standard StreamYard. I'm sure there is a way. But right now I have a 2-zip Leigh Wood. 2 rounds to 0 Leigh Wood. And just based upon what I've seen, Josh Warrington's going to need a big improvement because I don't think he's got the foot speed. I don't think he's really got, and that was a lovely uppercut that Leigh Wood landed, which I did say I seen land. It's a lovely little counter uppercut that just pierced Josh Warrington's guard. And let's look. To be fair, Warrington's and Wood, the head did come together. I think that was more reckless than an actual deliberate. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Warrington did land some shots though on Leigh Wood in that round. He did. Round 3 underway. Not been a bad fight thus far. Some people have it won a piece. Some people have it won a piece. I don't mind someone giving the first round to Warrington. I think that Leigh Wood definitely won the second round. No knockdown yet, but Josh Warrington lands a counter, backs Leigh Wood up a little bit. And Leigh Wood looking to hold. Has Leigh Wood felt something there? Warrington lands another flurry. Really looking to warm into this. Leigh Wood there in trouble on the back of the ropes. Leigh Wood having to hold on. Is he hurt? Warrington, when he smells blood, he really goes for it. Leigh Wood, no distressful sign on his face, but Josh Warrington now really warming into this fight now. Uppercut goes in by Josh Warrington. Leigh Wood not holding his hands up the same way he used to. Zip seems to go a little bit in his punches, and Josh Warrington, the legs have come to life now. Leigh Wood, but it seems to be all right now. Seems to be able to take center ring back again and is now looking to walk Josh Warrington onto something. Warrington buying these feints. Is he looking to try and launch another attack? Right hand goes in by Josh Warrington. Leigh Wood backs up again a little bit. Body shot goes in from Josh Warrington. Leigh Wood, maybe is he playing into Josh Warrington? Oh, left hook goes in from Josh Warrington. Some good stuff here in this round by Warrington. Slow start to the fight by Warrington's really warming into it here in the 3rd round. Really is. He's using the Reyes gloves, which are extremely uncomfy, but they are very much a puncher's glove. Warrington, not a noted puncher, but he's using them this time. 450 in the building. Right hand goes in by Josh Warrington as he backs Leigh Wood up again the ropes again. Using his elbow, not technically allowed to do that, but he is. Right hand goes in again. Referee has a word again with Josh Warrington. Has word with both fighters, but Josh Warrington again with the fouls. But this is warming into it. Oh, big right hand goes in, catches Leigh Wood on the way in. Leigh Wood backs up a little bit with that, but back on his bike, using his jab, looking to land the right hand. But the snap is gone from that Leigh Wood jab. He's not throwing it with the same vigor that he had in the first couple of rounds. Is he worried about if he puts too much? Oh, but some good shots go in. Only land on the arm with Josh Warrington. Josh Warrington looking to land another combination. Backs Leigh Wood up again the ropes again. Really letting the shots go here. Big round in the third from Josh Warrington. It has been all Warrington in this round. Leigh Wood, did he switch stance? Is he switching to southpaw? Almost looked like he switched his feet over. Don't think that's going to make much of a difference. If anything, I've always said it, only switch it if it's seamless. Don't do it if it's not. And Josh Warrington narrowly misses Leigh Wood with a right hand, really warming in nicely into this third round. Really is. Body shot from Josh Warrington goes in. Both fighters in the center of the ring. Josh Warrington letting the combinations off, going to the body of Leigh Wood. Walks into a left hook though, does Josh Warrington, but doesn't stop him. Back to Leigh. Oh, big shots go in from Josh Warrington. Is Leigh Wood feeling that? Takes some shots again, the ropes, and he's holding on, but he's not doing anything. He's got a free hand there. Right hand blocked by Warrington. This has been a very good round from Josh Warrington. Leigh Wood really outworked badly in that round. Really outworked badly. Was he hurt? Hard to say, but there's definitely a mark underneath his right eye. Ben Davison is really going to have words with him after that round. 500 in the building. If you haven't already, if you like the commentary, smash the old like button. Help your boy out. I'm saving you having to listen to Mike Costello. I'm just saying. Let's have a look. Oh, again, the heads come together there again. That looked like it hurt, actually, to be fair. But Josh Warrington really actually almost showing that he's the stronger of the two in there by that. Really pushing Leigh Wood back up again the ropes. And the problem is that when Warrington lets these shots go, he throws them in. He throws so many shots, such combinations. Leigh Wood is just thinking, right, move head, not block. So he's constantly moving back, which is never a good sign when someone's throwing that many shots because you're bound to take a few. Hard to say. I would probably say I would have Leigh Wood 2-1 ahead, but you could easily give the first round to Warrington, in which case you could have Warrington up. And again, Leigh Wood walked into a shot in the opening stages of this, the fourth round. 254 or 245 left in the second round, or fourth round, we're in the fourth round. And it has been a great fight thus far. I'm liking this. The styles have gelled together quite well. No one's taken a backward step. Warrington has landed more, has thrown more and landed more. Leigh Wood has landed less, but he's thrown less, so he's landed at a higher percent ratio. He's landed more power shots, but Josh Warrington, power shots are anything other than a jab. And Josh Warrington seems to only throw power shots. He doesn't seem to really use his jab, or certainly hasn't been using it too much in this fight. But Leigh Wood, again, gets outworked by Josh Warrington in the center of the ring. More shots go in from Josh Warrington. Just appears to back Leigh Wood up, but Leigh Wood back out popping his jab. As I said, the same snap that was in the jab the first two rounds doesn't seem to be there. It doesn't seem to be there in this fourth round. He's really just probing with the jab, and Josh Warrington is seeing it, and it's not a jab that he's particularly worried about. He might want to be worried about the right hand, but he's not worried about the jab. Leigh Wood just slowing the pace down, while Josh Warrington is actually looking to take stock and speed it up a bit. And seems to be suiting Josh Warrington at this point in the fight, moving his head well and looking to get in and land those shots. Leigh Wood, again, just taking center ring, but he's not able. And again, Warrington lands a hook, pierces the guard. Leigh Wood backs up a little bit. Warrington really finding his range now with the shots. He is a bigger puncher than many people would have you believe, and he's certainly showing that. Working the body of Leigh Wood. Headshots go in. Body shots. Leigh Wood just backs up a little bit, but back onto Josh Warrington with his jab again. That's all he's really relying on. He's going to have to look and see what he was doing in the second round, where he was walking Josh Warrington onto uppercuts. That was really working out a treat. With the high guard that Warrington has, Leigh Wood fighting at long range, a jab come uppercut will be a big help, but Josh Warrington isn't even going to let him have that chance, throwing some more shots. Leigh Wood's face is starting to redden up a little bit now, and Warrington really warming into the fight. Body shot just misses from Leigh Wood, has Josh Warrington backed up a little bit, but Warrington moving forward again, using his feet to very good effect to get inside. That's something you need to remember. Josh Warrington's footwork is normally very good. uses his footwork to great effect. Right hand goes in by Josh Warrington, just grazes Leigh Wood. Leigh Wood takes it well. Not really much power on those shots, but they're still scoring shots. And Leigh Wood not scoring with the shots he's throwing, although he does have Warrington backed up. And again, heads come together a bit there again. Again, Warrington, it's something that he's, oh wow, combination goes in, just misses, but it's a very awkward clinch. He needs to work on those heads. That was low. But Leigh Wood bleeding in there now. Is that as a result of the punches, or is that as a result of the headbutt? It's going to be interesting to see if that cut is bad, what Michael Alexander says, because he's definitely bleeding. And where did that blood come from? Did it come from a punch, or did it come from a cut? We shall see in the replay. But Warrington really looking well, warming his way nicely into this fight. Let's have a look-see. I suspect it came... Oh, some good shots go in from Josh Warrington. Did that start the flow of blood? That I do not know. Heads did definitely come together. But is that what caused the cut? Let's have a look-see again here. Ugh. Hard to tell. And again, they haven't shown how the cut looks. Wonder will we see it here? Will they do a little zoom in? Because if it's a bad enough cut that we have to go to the scorecards, 4 rounds have been completed, meaning that it will be declared a technical decision if the cut is deemed bad enough. It didn't look bad enough from where I could see, and it looks like they've stemmed the flow pretty well. As we go into round number 5. Warrington coming on very strong, and I would have to say it's definitely, you could have him ahead. Carl Froch scored the first round even. I don't really argue with that. It was an even Steven round. Leigh Wood the second and Warrington the last 2. I would have to say Carl Froch is bang on the money with that scorecard. I don't like even rounds, so I would give it to one or the other. I just favoured Leigh Wood in the first round. So you could have it a draw if you were looking at my scorecard, or you could certainly have Josh Warrington ahead. I really don't mind. But it's been more Warrington the last couple of rounds. He's been outworking Leigh Wood very well. He's been landing shots like he did there. It's been a very good fight so far. Really been enjoying it. And Josh Warrington actually bumps into the referee, which means he ends up taking some shots there from Leigh Wood in retaliation. Lost himself momentarily in the ring there, but that didn't stop him. Some shots go in again from Josh Warrington. Leigh Wood coming on a bit more strong in this round. There's definitely a lot more snap on his punches in this round. Was he just caught out of sorts with Josh Warrington? Right hand goes in by Leigh Wood. Definitely doing a lot better. Has this flow of blood spurred Leigh Wood on. Right hand goes in. Both guys end up in a clinch. Josh Warrington not throwing as many shots in this round as he was in the previous. Or is it just that Leigh Wood isn't letting him? We've 90 seconds to go in the 5th round. And it's a round that Leigh Wood has looked a bit more like himself in. He's definitely not had to take his foot off the gas in this round. Or he's not let Warrington really get into it. Although he's let Warrington get into it a little bit there. But Josh Warrington lands a little combination. And Warrington has that look in his eyes. We've seen it against Lee Selby. We've seen it against Carl Frampton. Where he just is in that zone. Where punches are going to go. And he is going to start chucking them with the best of them. And Leigh, you do not want to be on the receiving end of Josh Warrington when he starts doing that. The crucial thing about Warrington is that when he fought Mauricio Lara, never once, especially in the rematch, did he ever fight with this kind of ferocity. Because he knew he was in there with someone who could hurt him and knock him out. Leigh Wood, who is known as a big puncher, hasn't really been able to put Josh Warrington in his place. And he has hit Josh Warrington several times in this fight. Which makes me think that Leigh Wood, although he is a big puncher, he's not able to really, he doesn't have the artillery to really bother Josh Warrington and make him second guess himself, make him second guess his strategy, because Warrington is all over him like white to rice, and he's letting some combinations go here. Both guys do, but Warrington gets the better, lands a left hook. Leigh Wood is hurt there. Leigh Wood definitely felt that left hook that Warrington lands. Staggers a little bit, buckles to his knees. Both guys in a clinch coming towards the end of the 5th round. A better round for Leigh Wood, but he was definitely hurt by a Josh Warrington left hook. I think we're not going to see anything big for the remainder of the round, but he does land the right hand, does Josh Warrington. Both guys in a clinch, and the bell should come any second, as it does there. This has been a very, very good fight, lads. 6 rounds in, and I'm enjoying it. And I got to do the last few rounds with no water now. But I don't mind, because I've been enjoying this. I would say that's about right. Josh Warrington, 3-2 ahead. 3-2 ahead. The one thing about doing these watch-alongs, I would love to hear the atmosphere in that arena. I'd love to hear it. Obviously, I have the volume turned all the way down, but I'd love to hear what they're saying in the arena. But Leigh Wood, let's have a look-see at the cut there, if we can get an idea. Facial damage is there for Leigh Wood, not so much for Josh Warrington. Swelling, cut. He's been buzzed a few times as round number 6 is underway. Leigh Wood is just been using his long-range boxing. It's all he's been trying to do in this fight. But Josh Warrington knows what he's... Josh Warrington is a known quantity. He knows what he wants to do in there. He's been doing it very well in this fight. And again, outworking Leigh Wood, going to the body. He is just picking his moments. And Leigh Wood is unable, no matter what he's throwing at Warrington, he is unable to keep Josh Warrington off. I'm really liking the style match here. It's very good. There's no feeling out. There's no, you make the first move. Josh Warrington, as he lands a left hook there and another shot on Leigh Wood again, is just throwing shots. Leigh Wood is looking to counter. Complained that was at the back of the head. Leigh Wood, he's in front of you. Don't take your eyes off him. Right? Whether it's back of the head or not, he's in front of you. Keep your eyes on the prize, because you're lucky Josh Warrington could have got a free hit in there. Be very careful. And 2 minutes left to go here in the 6th round. Leigh Wood keeping it at range, looking to find Josh Warrington. What Josh Warrington is doing is smart there. Josh Warrington obviously knows that he has the foot speed to be able to get in and close the range. So what he's... Oh! Leigh Wood took a right hand. I think that was more a balance thing than it was anything else. But what Josh Warrington is doing, he's staying so far out of range that Leigh Wood's punches are falling short. But Warrington has the footwork and the foot speed to be able to close that range like that. So although Leigh Wood's punches are falling short, he can get into range quicker, and he's able to work Leigh Wood on the inside a lot better. Leigh Wood has no inside game to speak of. It's known. He's a long-range boxer. He loses himself momentarily in the ring there. Josh Warrington, again, lands a right hand, chopping right hand on the side of Leigh Wood's head. Leigh Wood can't really do anything, can't retaliate. And Josh Warrington, again, looking to get in, looking to close the range, looking to use his footwork to get in and to outwork Leigh Wood, which is what he's been doing since round 3. And again, both guys in a clinch with 1 minute to go here in the 6th round. It has been a fantastic fight as far. But Josh Warrington, for my money, has been getting the better of this fight. And to be honest with you, the way it's been looking now, I wouldn't surprise if Josh Warrington is actually able to go and at least get a knockdown, maybe even a stoppage body shot from Josh Warrington. Ducks brilliantly under the left hook from Leigh Wood. A shot that Josh Warrington has had nightmares over in the past. But he's able to read the left hook that Leigh Wood is throwing. Not Leigh Wood's best shot, to be fair. His best punch is the right hand. A right hand that Josh Warrington has almost nullified in this fight because he's taken very few. And the one time Leigh Wood has tried to throw them, or the few times he has, he's missed as he did there. Completely misses. No timing with the right hand from Leigh Wood for some reason in this fight. Really, really poor from the Leigh Wood so far. Normally he's a lot more accurate. Now maybe he's in there with someone who just has a better defense than what he's been used to. But Josh Warrington comes to the end of the round. A better round as such for Leigh Wood, but he was stunned early on in this round. And what I don't like is, if you're going to complain about punches to the side or the back of the head, don't do it when the opponent is right in front of you and in punching range. Don't do that, because you're asking for a free shot. And a 700 of you guys in the building appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit the old like button. And if you actually haven't as well, please consider subscribing if you like the commentary. We'll definitely be doing more of these. There you go. But let's have a look-see at some of the highlights. Josh Warrington ducking very well under these shots. The body shots are crucial. What Josh Warrington has been doing in this fight, he's been landing. When he's got up close, you'll see it. He's been landing body shots. Now, people have been saying Leigh Wood struggled with the weight cut. If he struggled with the weight cut and he looked bad on the scales, he, for sure, is going to be feeling those body shots. And it may be the reason why his punch output is slowed down and why his feet look even slower than they did at the start of this fight. But here we go into round 7. We're halfway through. Josh Warrington still looking fresh, still looking fit. Leigh Wood, a little bit more snap on the jab. He's popping that jab out a lot more than he was earlier. Right hands go in, both guys do. Both guys miss, end up in a clinch. Both guys really put a lot of snap on that shot there. I think both guys are trying to start to sit on their shots a little bit more. But Josh Warrington, again, looking to get in close, outworking Leigh Wood. Takes a little right hand for his troubles, but still is able to go in and land a combination. Body shots go in from Josh Warrington again. But Leigh Wood definitely staying in the pocket a bit more. Could be to his detriment. Takes a left hook from Josh Warrington. Overhand right just skims the head of Leigh Wood as referee calls time. Now, Josh Warrington, a complaint back of the head. Referee may be looking to dock a point, and he is docking a point punch to the back of the head from Josh Warrington. Over the last couple of fights, Warrington has been fouling a lot more. Now, because there is still 7 rounds to go, if we are in a situation, big shots go in from Josh Warrington, maybe he thinks, okay, you want to dock me a point, I'll get that point back. Because he let the shot go there with Leigh Wood. You think that would spur Leigh Wood on, but it seems to almost spur Josh Warrington on more. You want to take a point away from me? Okay. I'll show you. I'll get that point back. But he takes a jab there, Josh Warrington, going in. A very stiff jab from Leigh Wood. One of the few he's thrown in this fight. And again, that's better from Leigh Wood. Use your long-range boxing. Keep the guy off you. It's easier said than done as Josh Warrington lands another combination on Leigh Wood. And a big one at that. Snap the head back a little bit of Leigh Wood. But with 1:25 to go here in the 7th round. And it's hanging nicely in the balance. It's been a really, really entertaining fight. I've been really happy with what I've seen. This fight, there's not been a boring round in it, and both guys are letting shots go. Leigh Wood doing a little bit better in this round, but Josh Warrington still dangerous, still outworking him, still landing the eye-catching shots. If you're hitting gloves and the other guy is, big shots go in again from Josh Warrington. Leigh Wood just takes a little step back, but is back on it now, back using the jab. Josh Warrington again, body shot goes in. There's only so many of them Leigh Wood can take before he really starts to feel it. And Josh Warrington, he's hung at this level. He's been at world level for years now. May 2018, he won his first world title against Lee Selby. At that time, Leigh Wood was still a domestic level fighter. Josh Warrington has been here. He's seen it and done it. He's had the big experiences. He knows what it's all about. It's still relatively new to Leigh Wood. And Leigh Wood is older, lest we forget. He's the older guy in every aspect. And is that starting to show in this fight? Josh Warrington backs Leigh Wood up against the ropes. He's opening up on him. He's throwing some body shots as both guys end up in a clinch. Referee Michael Alexander breaks them. But Warrington again to the body. I think he hurt Leigh Wood with that body shot because Leigh Wood's legs appeared to just stiffen a little bit. But again, both guys in a clinch as we come to the end of the 7th round. Big shot goes in from Leigh Wood. He's hurt. Down goes Warrington. And Warrington may be out. No. He's up at his feet. His legs are absolutely gone. And the referee, is he going to stop the fight? Is he going to stop the fight? He stops the fight. Wow. With seconds left in the round, Josh Warrington turns his back to the referee and Michael Alexander stops the fight. Leigh Wood wins a fight he was losing by knockout. Wow. Once again, Leigh Wood pulls it out of the bag. Unbelievable. Unbelievable by Leigh Wood. Credit to him. Hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. It came out of the blue. It came out of the blue. No one could have seen that coming. Holy hell. Josh Warrington is clearly devastated. A fight that he was winning, boxing out of his skin. The punch and power of Leigh Wood sends Josh Warrington to the canvas. He's almost in tears there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable by Leigh Wood. Absolutely tremendous fight. I don't think anyone would have seen that coming. We got to see a replay before we ended up here. Holy, you know what? Phenomenal end in the 7th round by Leigh Wood. I got my prediction spot on. I picked Leigh Wood by knockout, but I didn't expect the fight to go this way. Not in the least. And out of the blue, Leigh Wood salvages not just the title, but potentially salvages his career. As for Josh Warrington, let's have a look-see. Warrington Right hand goes in and it stuns Josh Warrington. He walks in and a left hook, right hand, smack on the chin, hits Warrington on the way down. He was never going to get up from that. Let's have a look-see at it again. Jab goes in, right hand. Warrington leans in with a punch as well, so he amplifies the power, and a combination from Leigh Wood, and Josh Warrington is down and he is out. He didn't look that bad, I thought, when he got up, but when a fighter goes down like that, they very seldom beat the count, and this was no different. I'm seeing people say rematch. I'm not going to lie. I'm all for it. I'm all for a rematch. But tremendous shot from Leigh Wood. The killer instinct comes out. Warrington goes down. And that was all she wrote. Tremendous. Tremendous, tremendous. Warrington complains to the referee. With a few seconds left in the round, could they have let it go on? Could they have? Possibly. The bell would have went. Could they have let Warrington continue? There it is, the question, but look what it means. Look what it means to Leigh Wood, and look at the emotion on Josh Warrington. Honestly, he's close to tears. But damn, could they have really let the fight go on? Therein is the question. Therein is the question. What do you make of this, lads? What did you make of the fight? Leigh Wood retains his WBA featherweight title. I'm all for a rematch. I'm all for it. All for it. Happily would see that again. I will happily see that again. Let me know your thoughts, lads. If you're new, you enjoyed the commentary, please subscribe. We'll do more watch-alongs. We've got plenty more shows to come. There's still 7 of 160 of you guys in the building. Smash the old like button. I'm sure out of the 760, there's obviously some who haven't subscribed. And, you know, the goal is to get to 15K by the end of the year. So I'd appreciate it if, you know, maybe you hit your boy a subscribe on the way out. But what I'm going to do is I've got my post-fight review to do. And I'll do that now as soon as we finish up here. Thank you to everyone who locked in. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I really enjoyed this fight. It definitely delivered. I hope you are all having a good one. Let me know your thoughts. I'll chat to you in a couple of minutes for the post-fight review. Peace.